Hello friends and welcome to another Repair Bay video, I guess. That's sort of the name I'm sticking with for now. And this is, if you missed the first video, this is a series that I'm starting to do that is entirely about either fixing or customizing or otherwise just physically tweaking existing figures past factory specifications, I guess you could say. And today it's going to be sort of a combination-ish figure study slash repair bay for the Turbo Falcon Megazord. Not Mock Alcon, but the Turbo Falcon Megazord. And the reason why is because the Turbo Falcon Megazord is cool except for one major problem, and that is the fact that this sucker is missing tons of detail. Now, the basic shape of, in this case, the Turbo Falcon Megazord is cool. I actually really like this sort of vaguely living Formula One race car thing they got going here because of the eye. This looks neat to me. I like the white and red and black combination, although it's kind of hard to see the black on the black background, but it is there. Whoop, that popped down. If I bring it closer, you can kind of see, though. There you go. Okay. So yeah, I like the white, red, and black combination with a little bit of gold for just a little bit of added detail, which is nice. And a little bit of gray and silver here and there, which is good. And it's an overall nice shape for the car. I like the just end to end. I think it's a nice shape. It looks good. It's large, which is saying something because Mock Alcon, as I've seen, is like at least twice the size of this guy. So this is surprisingly big, but Mock Alcon is bigger. But yeah, he's very plain, especially in his robot Zord mode, which we'll get into in a minute. But yeah, this is neat, but just really, really, really sorely lacking for more fine details. Like, really all he's got going on are this little, what was that, the Power Rangers, oh geez, I don't know the name of the series, but yeah, there's the symbol there, the eye there, like there's a little bit of silver here for the engine, which is nice. It's nice that they have that on there, but like there's just not a lot of overall paint or detail on this guy, and like he's just sorely lacking in that regard, which is a shame because you can see there's actually a lot of really nice molded detail on the surfaces here. It's just you can't see it because it's just a bunch of plain old blocks of color. But to reiterate, the shape and size of the vehicle mode is actually really nice. I think it's really cool. It just desperately needs more detail, more stickers, more to call out those little molded bits, just something. That is why we're doing a repair bay kind of combo with this, because I went and got myself the labels from BD15. These are some very nice stickers that we're going to be applying to the Turbo Falcon Megazord, and they will make it look so much better. But in addition to all of these nice little details being added and making that look a lot less plain, I also went and got myself got some of the Tamiya panel lining stuff, whatever this is called. And yeah, I ordered this off Amazon from Japan, so with the free shipping, it took about a month to get here, but it's here finally, and now I'm doing this video. But this I got specifically for this guy because, as in that first vlog that I put up, this was a project toy. This is a guy that I knew I was going to want to tweak when I got him, so I got him specifically with the idea that I would be doing some panel lining and adding some stickers. So we will be getting into that in a little bit, but for now, let's get him into his robot mode. Now, I actually quite like the robot mode of the Turbo Falcon Megazord. It's surprisingly large in comparison to some of the other Megazords that I have. I mean, you'd think being a single vehicle that turns into a robot, it would be on the smaller side, but it's actually not. Especially those shoulders are really broad. Makes putting him on a shelf a little bit difficult. Anyway, I do like this mode. The only real gripe that I have, aside from just mechanical stuff, like the fact that just because of the transformation, it's kind of prone to falling apart. I don't mind the lack of hands. It's more the fact that his feet are just sort of the back end of the car. Like, that's just a little bit of a shame. This is also a little loose. Now, this is the sort of default setup for him, but before we move on to how I like to display him, we'll just take a quick look at that head. And it is a rather tiny head, but it is nice, and I like the kind of pirate hat motif going on, and I like how this becomes the chest too. I don't know, it's very amusing to me how you've got this Formula One race car that turns into a pirate robot. I think that's cool. Now, in terms of how I like to display him, it's only a very minor change, but this, because of the hinge, can actually come out a little bit. So what I do is I just pull this out a little bit and just kind of try and line that up with the corners of that red piece there. And that just adds a little bit more depth to the chest. And then these arms can be folded out, and goes 2 clicks for the chest transformation for the legendary Megazord. I like to do the 1 click because then it gives his arms just a little bit more of an angle, kind of makes them a little beefier looking, and almost makes it look like he has claws, which I think is really cool. And then this is another one for the legendary Megazord combination that I like to do anyway, which is just flip these panels up to add just a little bit more texture and detail to him and change his silhouette up just a tiny bit with those flaps sticking out there. And there is the Turbo Falcon Megazord in robot mode as I like to display him. And I do really like this robot mode. I think it's neat. I like the red and the white again. I like the black and the gray in there. And I also really like how the red and white kind of the distribution changes when, like, you know, it's like primarily white in the arms with mostly red in the legs. Like, I like how it all kind of changes up, and how like the spoiler in the back becomes the chest and shoulder decorations there. It's good stuff. It is really neat. But as with the vehicle mode, he is kind of lacking in terms of just overall detail. And again, that is where the sticker sheets and the panel lining stuff is going to come into play. So that's the basics, and gonna readjust and gonna start doing some actual just physical adjustments. We're gonna start with the panel lining because I don't want to put the stickers on and then have to worry about the panel lining paint stuff like seeping in and under the stickers. So I'm gonna do the panel lining first. I'm not gonna do the whole thing on camera. I'm just gonna get it started, kind of show you what I'm doing, then finish it up, come back after it's done, and start applying stickers. And then we'll take a look at him in both his modes after we're done. So let's get started. All right, so the Turbo Falcon Megazord is broken down into all of his various parts. I'm not actually going to bother completely disassembling him, like taking out screws and all that, because I don't think it's necessary for what I'm going to be doing here. But I do think it's going to be easier to do this just by working, you know, on each piece individually. So I'm going to clear all this out, and we're going to get started on one of these pieces. I haven't quite decided which one it's going to be yet, but we'll see in a moment. All right. Are you as nervous about this as I am? Because I am actually a little nervous. I've never actually done anything like this before. So I'm going to start with this piece because it is relatively flat, so it should be pretty easy to get started. And I'm just going to start kind of in this area here. And we'll see how that goes. Now, I think you're supposed to give this a bit of a shake. And if not, then I'm already off to a terrible start. Go me. And now, just wipe off the excess on the ends there. You can see it is a... Come on, there you go. It's like a fine brush, like a fine paintbrush almost. So, let's do it. Just touch it down, and it should start flowing into the cracks. And touch it down. Touch it down. Boy, I'm just smearing all over the place. I'm hoping this is all showing up properly on the camera. It's hard to really be able to see with all this going on. Boop. There we go. There you can see it kind of flowing in. Okay. And now it's just a matter of doing that all around here, wiping off the excess, and then letting it dry. Well, I am prepared to call the first tentative steps into this endeavor a success. So, as a reminder, this is what the piece looks like without any panel lining on it whatsoever. You can see that. Actually, put it up there. And this is the mirrored piece that has been panel lined, and it's amateurish, so there are some spots where I feel like it's not even, and it's a little bit a little bit here and there, just not quite right. Like those triple lines right there, I feel like I could go in and touch those up a bit, but for the most part, this is the completed panel lining, and wow, what a difference that makes. Even, I mean, it definitely pops on the white parts, but I mean, even in the red, it just makes it so much more detailed looking, and I really like that. So this is coming along very nicely. I'm going to go in, tweak that, start on the other pieces, and we will be back once I've got everything panel lined up. Okay, so everything's kind of still in progress right now. I've got the panel lining pretty much done throughout the entire figure, and now ready to move on to the labels. So I've got the page on BD15 up on as like reference, because you don't really get instructions with these, so there's going to be a link down there so you can check out the Turbo Falcon Megazord stickers, and yeah, that's basically what I'm using for reference for these stickers. So just going to get things started off. What I like to use is an X-Acto knife, and the reason I like to use an X-Acto knife for this stuff, let's carefully put that off to the side. The reason I like to use an X-Acto knife is because I can use the X-Acto to peel up the stickers without potentially getting my oily finger oils on them and potentially messing up the adhesive. Potentially. That's assuming I can actually get these stickers off the sheet. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. There we go. So just peel that up. And now this should go here. And I'm just gonna try and get that lined up. There we go. I think that is good. And just smooth that out. Smooth that out. And that's a little bit not quite on the edge there, but that's okay. I think it'll look fine when it's put together. We can imagine that stuck together. I think it'll look fine. All right, so there's that one. Next up is which one of these? Okay, it looks like this one here. So get that going and get that edge under there. All right, peel that up carefully. Okay, and now it's time to attach this. This is going to follow the curve of the... Yeah. Okay. I think that looks to be about in the right spot, so there we go. Smooth that out, and then just kind of work it down the side and there. Okay, that is already looking quite a bit more colorful. So, it begins. That is just sort of a basic start on the stickers, and going to come back once all of this is stickered up, and we're going to take a look at the Turbo Falcon Megazord in both modes once it's been properly enhanced. It has been a process, but I gotta say, I am really liking the results here. Here we have the Turbo Falcon Megazord with the panel lining, with the stickers, and it just adds so much. So much. Especially the stickers. I mean, you know, I I don't want to undersell the panel lining, but I also don't want to oversell it. It's most noticeable here and here. There are some other areas where I did do it, but it's harder to notice above the color of all the stickers. But yeah, it's just it looks really good. And I'm just gonna point this out now. There are actually stickers from the set that go inside the exhaust ports there. And those are fun to get in. I'll just say that now. But yeah, it looks so nice with these stickers. It adds so much more color to the Turbo Falcon Megazord. I really like that. I also have to say, I was really impressed with these stickers. Like, when I first got the sheet, I was kind of, I don't know, but these are really nice vinyl stickers. Like, these things, they stay down. They handle curves a lot better than repro labels. I mean, I'm not saying repro labels are bad, it's just the way the BD15 stickers work, they kind of conform to the curvature of the toy a lot better, and they don't pop up. Like, that is fantastic. So, I am sold on BD15 decals, I can certainly say that. But yeah, these it looks so good like this. I really love how much color those stickers add. And I mean, again, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I do like how the bits of panel lining that I was able to get in, because I couldn't quite do it everywhere just because of my inexperience and the fact that some of these spots, the gaps are like so big, it wouldn't actually hold the ink or whatever you want to call it. But it looks so good. Now I'm super happy I went and did this because it's so neat. Anyway, gonna get him into his robot mode so we can check that out next. This is why I'm so proud of what I was able to accomplish with this. This looks so good. I love the added little bits of color all over this thing. Just so nice. The added white in the legs, the added red in the air scoops or whatever they're called, just like the flame decals all over the place. It adds so much more color to this robot mode. It's fantastic. I really love the flames on the shoulders too. Now, about those, bring him a little closer here. So one thing I do want to mention is I did take a little bit of my own liberty with some of the decal placement, because I just I was looking at the photos on the BD15 website for reference, but Even though I know some of the decals are supposed to go in certain places, I wanted to move them elsewhere because of the fact that for me, the robot mode is more important than the vehicle or combined mode. And because of that, these stickers normally are supposed to go kind of up here, kind of in front of this little hole here that's for the clip that attaches to the back of the vehicle mode. But I put it more up against here so that it was flush with that side so that it would make the shoulders of the robot mode look better. And I think that turned out really good. I actually prefer it there in all the modes because you can still see it. For the, actually, turn it this way. For the airfoils or whatever, this red line here, it's a little crooked, but whatever. They have it pushed a little bit, like the placement they show is back further, but I wanted to put it up more because of like these little you know, speed bumps or whatever you want to call them. Plus, it doesn't quite cover up the lining there because I really do like that lining. Not again to toot my own horn. I just like how you've got these big splashes of color now, and then there's also these added little bits of detail, like just like a little bit of black line going in that seam there. And again, you've got the lines there. There's actually did a surprising amount on the legs and feet, which you can't even really see that well, but I do think it adds a little bit when you're up close and looking at it. Plus, look at all the detail that's in here that you don't even really notice without the panel lighting. Like that just looks really good, and I'm not just saying that because of how involved it was and how time-consuming it was to get those lines in there. I just really love how this looks, and with these added bits of white, now I'm fine with keeping these panels down in the regular robot mode because it just makes those legs more visually interesting. Also went in and did a little bit of lining on the chest / combined mode helmet, or hat rather, and also did some stuff, a little bit of stuff on the head there. Not too much. I didn't want to go completely nuts with it, but yeah. And then, of course, you can see there's all the lining on the side here. And there were some stickers for the engine, too, which was nice. Even did a little bit on the back of the fist here. Basically, any place I saw a narrow enough line, I was just like, I'm going to put panel lining on that. So, yeah, I am super, super happy with how this guy turned out. Again, might be tooting my own horn here, but I really do like this. I think this adds so much to the robot mode and the vehicle mode. It's just, panel lining or no, the sticker set is absolutely worth it because, like, even just in this mode, it looks great. As for the combined mode, well, I actually just recently got my hands on the legendary Megazord, and I mean, I've got things to say about this guy because he is in desperate need of some more color detail and stuff, so I'm going to be doing some work on him at some point. But I don't have the Q-Rex Megazord, so I can't do the proper combined mode. But, just real quick, we'll show off the chest, because that's sort of the big thing that everybody wants to see, or probably wants to see. I don't know. It's the thing that most people seem to talk about when it comes to the combined mode. Yeah, okay, I changed my mind and decided to just do the whole thing, because why not, really, you know? So, as I said, I'm missing the Q-Rex, so I can't do the arms properly. And because I can't do the arms properly, I can't really attach this. This is just the way this is made. This will not attach to to either fist, really. So, can't do this. I mean, you can sort of maybe imagine it, but yeah. So, it's not quite the full ultimate combined mode, but you can kind of get an idea for it. And again, I haven't done anything to the legendary Megazord itself. I intend to in the future at some point, but here you can see the tweaked Turbo Falcon Megazord with all the stickers, and this does look really great. I mean, I know a lot of people, this makes all the difference, and it absolutely does. It's so much better than just having black plastic there, but for me, it's still like, I'm way into how the stickers and everything have enhanced the Turbo Falcon Megazord's robot mode. I don't know, regardless, this turned out really well, I think. This looks great, and I am super on board with it, and I'm really excited to see what'll happen once I go in and tweak the legendary Megazord a bit, and maybe eventually get the Q-Rex Megazord, or at least get the arms from the Q-Rex. We'll see. But anyway, I think that is going to do it. This has been a long time in the making. This has taken quite a few days of work and interspersed videos, so I am ready to call it. So that has been both my look at the Turbo Falcon Megazord and my attempt to spruce up the Turbo Falcon Megazord a bit. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and I hope that if you've been thinking about the Turbo Falcon Megazord, maybe this will help you reach a decision whether or not you actually want to get it. I feel like if you're willing to put in a little bit of work, it's really, really cool. But it does require a little bit of work, because it's really kind of plain otherwise. Anyway, again, thank you for watching. I hope this has been helpful, or at least enjoyable. As per usual, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Any combination of those three would make me a happy Rob. And remember, art can be more than meets the eye. With a little bit of hard work, well, maybe not so hard work, but a little bit of work and some imagination.